Good evening, Venerable.
Hello, everybody. It's Kopi Uncle Nicky here.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm JK, the youngest boy in this class.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kenny Tan, the 5C Superpower Achiever.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to this session. So, based on our last session, we talked about infinite life and the six realms. So, today will be our third session. Do you all remember the question I asked you guys? Who can help me? Anyone wants to share with us your answer?
Ben John.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to try. Your questions are always made my Kopi session very interesting. My Kopi brothers and I came to a decision that we can only help ourselves, especially when hearing from JK from our last session. Remember that in order to head to the happy realms, which are deities, demigods, and humans, more virtuous actions have to be made in this current life. We also came to another critical point that choosing an environment is very important.
Agree. Do you think coffee shop is a good environment?
This one, of course, it depends on the circle of friends that you choose. Okay? Now, moving on, why is it a critical point? A very good example, okay, my kids love volunteering to host events in B.W. Monastery Online. I'm sure JK know who my kids are, right? Same class, right? They were in charge to inform the other youths from Wisdom Youth United to come online to watch it. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
So, if I'm not wrong, the event is called Master Remembrance Day. My daughter prepared this Apple computer and this Zoom application, and we watched the event connected to my 68-inch TV. Yeah, it feels very good. I was totally enjoying it. From head to toe, it is filled with virtuous actions where people are constantly checking on themselves. Because when reflecting upon myself, I always tend to blame others when a problem arises. It is very embarrassing, but at least I managed to spot this mistake out. And not only that, I try to protect myself from getting blamed from others. Therefore, I'm glad to be in an environment like B.W. Monastery because, seriously, even though I'm going to be a senior citizen soon, there is still time to change myself to become better. How about you, Kenny?
High five, man, Uncle Nicky. How about the audience watching us live? Who do you think can help you? Let us know in the comments. For me, I think only we can help ourselves. Just like having our meals, a Michelin chef can cook the most nourishing dish. But we still need to move our hands and consume the food. Sometimes I see people who just give up on themselves, and all they needed to do was to take the next step upwards. Just like taking on a leadership role or upgrading one's skills through learning. No one can really force us to do it if we are not willing. Then again, I think luck plays a very important role in our lives, where we receive guidance from someone who can show us what our next step might be. It does look like I've been quite lucky in my whole life to meet many experienced people who help advise on the potential path that I should be taking in various stages of my life. But I wonder, what luck is in the context of Buddhism? Maybe it's based on some guidelines or qualities that we look at when determining if a person can help us. Sometimes, maybe we already met the right teacher, but we are blinded by our own judgment, or just find that the person advising us doesn't seem to align with my view.
Yeah, totally agree. Sometimes this person may be a person that really can help me, but in the end, because of my wrong judgment, I fail to see it. So, such a waste. But Hey JK, I always hear from my kids that you are pretty knowledgeable, right? So, what about you? Please share.
Let me think. Who can help me? Maybe my parents, my friends, my relatives, my teachers? Or maybe my pet dog Xiaobao. Maybe I will talk about my little research on the web first. Recalling what Venerable has mentioned in the previous episode, that the percentage of getting human is very little. So as I went home and researched on that, I found that there is this saying by Aryadeva, 400 stanzas, that states, humans for the most part are involved in ignoble things. Therefore, most ordinary beings will surely go to the miserable realms. So I'm quite worried after reading this, it seems like I'm going to a miserable realms. I don't think I'm able to differentiate the things whether they are noble or ignoble.
It's okay. You're smart to join this session.
Alright, Marshall. So having said that, I don't have any idea who can actually help me to input with that knowledge and guidance, unlike Kenny, who is so lucky to meet so many experienced people who provided him with the advices, or probably like what he mentioned, maybe I have met the right person, but couldn't really tell because of my poor own judgment. So compared to Kenny and Uncle Nicky, I feel that with my very, very, very limited knowledge, I don't even know if I have the capability to help myself. So Venerable, may I seek your advice on that?
Sure. First, when we talk about who can help us, we need to have a certain criteria of ourselves. If we do not have the ability, even if we meet the best teacher, we are not going to benefit much from it. Most of the time, we are trying to change our external condition. But I think it's very important for us to work on our internals as well. Just like a potter shaping a fine clay. That's when the pot can be displayed in the museum. The teacher, who is the potter, and the learner is the clay. But if the learner is the clay that is wet and sticky, even if you meet with the most experienced teacher, he's unable to shape you. Since all of you are sitting right here, it means you guys have the characteristics to learn. All of you have Buddha nature, which is to eradicate suffering and achieve complete happiness. So let us move on to our next question. So what qualities do you think the teacher should have?
Hey, boy, you're still in school, right? Come and share with us what are some of the good qualities that a teacher should have.
Sure, Mr. Kenny. Probably you two might not know how difficult and challenging it is to be a teacher these days, as it has been quite some time since the last time you two were both schooling.
Hey, senior citizen, I think like maybe 40 years ago. But either way, thanks for reminding my age. Please continue.
So let me think of my secondary 3 history teacher, Miss Tan. The best teacher I have met so far. Based on the qualities she has, I think a teacher should possess all the knowledge around the world so that they are able to solve all kinds of problems and provide the students with the solutions to satisfy their curiosity. Next, be able to understand the students and their interests so the lesson will not be too boring. Thirdly, they should also be familiar with the content so the students won't feel confused. And last but not least, be equipped with wonderful teaching techniques so the students can listen attentively and concentrate on the lesson. So on top of all this mentioned, they should also be able to adapt to us and change the changing trends. So like for example, in terms of technology, like using Telegram and Zoom to communicate with our students. And also another quality not to be missed, they should be open to our feedback from all the students and also customize their teaching approach according to our different needs. How about you, Mr. Kenny? Are you able to remember what qualities a teacher should have?
You calling me Mr. Kenny makes me feel so old. But wow, speaking about abilities, I always thought that as long as a person is hardworking, he or she will be able to learn well, no matter who teaches the topic. If it involves a teacher, I guess he or she needs to look pleasant, presentable, have good communication skills. Do you guys remember some teachers that often murmur during lectures, like murmur, or speak in a monotonous tone? That makes me so sleepy, and I usually don't absorb much during such classes. One more. Definitely needs to be very knowledgeable about the topics as well. Otherwise, it's purely a waste of time, man. Not just that, the teacher needs to show us how to apply the knowledge. No point reading to me about a yummy vegetarian spring roll recipe, but not showing me how to make it right. Oh, wait. Why am I always thinking about food?
Hey, Kenny, come to my coffee shop, kaya toast, anything. Okay, sorry. Please continue.
But Van John, there are so many resources out there these days, from books to videos. This does sound like we can simply learn from by ourselves. Why is a teacher as well as his or her qualities so important?
You got a point. But even though it does look like we are self-learning, how the book is written and how the presenter engages you in videos play a huge part in helping us to understand the content. But if you have any question, you cannot ask anyone. You cannot ask the book, right? So, we can only know the answer based on our own assumption. Whether it is correct or not, we won't be able to know. And if you think that you got it right, you will then gain pride and arrogance. This is extremely dangerous, as you will block out people's opinion even though if they are right. So that's something to contemplate about. Are you learning from yourself or learning from the teacher? Next, when you learn from different resources, sometimes different teachers have different perspectives and methods. Maybe all of the methods can lead you to the destination, but then due to our lack of wisdom, we will think that the teaching is full of contradiction and therefore lose faith in it. So let me think of one example. Traveling. So for traveling, you have three options. The first one, take bus and MRT. Next, MRT and bus. And the last one, you can walk to the place that you want to go. All of these can bring you to the place. But then, if we do not have enough knowledge, we do not know which route to take. So in conclusion, it's better to follow fewer or even one teacher, as of now, just to be safe. So I recommend you all to join a class, as there are discussions in the class that help us a lot. Right, boy?
Yes, I totally agree with Venerable.
Yes. There are many perspectives to one thing, so I'm sure you guys will benefit a lot from it, just like this session we are having now. So the qualities of the teacher will determine the speed of you reaching your destination. All of us want to reach our goal as fast as possible. When you're looking for one teacher, the teacher should have 10 qualities. But then, Uncle Nicky, what's your take on this?
Alright, Ben John, before I answer your question, I want to share something first. I agree with Xiao Boy JK that technology these days is really convenient, unlike the old days. Not only that, I also agree with Van John too. Recently, I joined an online bilingual class in BW Monastery, and I feel very lucky because I still have the opportunity to learn. Okay, yes, I know I'm old, but I still can learn. I still have time. There is always time to learn the teachings during the pandemics while keeping our classmates safe by minimizing any physical interaction. Now, why do I want to share this? Okay, now I can answer Ben John's question. Because I've learned that if a teacher has two main qualities, the student will definitely be able to achieve great heights in life. So, what are the two? This aligns with both Kenny and JK shared earlier. Compassion and wisdom. Okay, why is this so? Learning from a compassionate and wise teacher, the students will have so many new things to learn. Okay, what is most important down here is in the correct systematic order, which always make classes so interesting because the students are learning step by step basis. Plus, through care and concern from the teacher, the students will learn well from a stress-free environment. Okay, I'm sure everyone learns well from a stress-free environment, right? Yes, come to think of it, it really makes sense after some contemplation. Just like how I remember one of my teachers taught me the direction to brew his signature coffee that tastes of 1 gram of coffee to a ratio of 100 cc of water. He is able to express himself well for me to make me understand the steps easily and give me a fun and loving experience that I've never forgotten up to now. Then John, so let's continue. What exactly are the qualities? Our audience and all of us want to know, what are the qualities?
Okay, so there are 10 qualities you should look at when you're finding a teacher. But then these 10 qualities are split into 2 parts. First part for ourselves and the second part for others. So for the first part for self, the first one is discipline. This is self-discipline and also, in other words, upholding the precepts. Next, serenity. He has to be calm. Third, thoroughly pacified. He needs to have wisdom. Fourth, having qualities that surpass those of the students. Of course, when you find a teacher, you want someone that is better than you. 5, the wealth of knowledge from studying many scriptures. And 6, thorough knowledge of reality. So for this one, it's the good qualities obtained for oneself. But how about for others? So the next 4 is for others. 1, energetic. Number 8, having skill in instruction. So you want your teacher to teach you in a very creative and a fun manner. Number 9, possessing loving concern. Right, JK? You want a teacher that loves you a lot, right?
Yes, give me chocolate.
I will give you later. Okay, 10, abandoning dispiritedness. If you don't get it, the teacher will repeat as many times as possible until you got it right. Right, Uncle Nicky?
Already keep forgetting, but still willing to learn, still willing to put in effort because I think it's really worth it.
Okay, so these are the qualities for looking after others. Next question. Observe your life from young till now. Have you met someone like this? You guys can show your card. Red being no and green yes. Interesting. Okay, Kenny, why don't you share with us?
Okay, for me, yes, I've met someone like this in my life before, but not with all the 10 qualities. These qualities do not sound so easy to achieve. Many of the successful people that I met during my career, they are very self-disciplined and they are very well-versed in their field of expertise. However, not all can be serene and thoroughly pacified, especially when stressful situation arises. In our society today, most of us are quite specialized and are elites in their field, but might be an amateur in another. Sometimes I find it so tiring to keep researching on who is good at what in order for me to excel in my career. How nice would it be if there is this one person who can basically know it all and show me all the milestones to be achieved for reaching the peak? All I have to do is copy.
Copy. Okay. Control C, Control V. A skill that I recently learned from a computer workshop that allows me to copy exactly the same thing. I think for me to copy a person who has these 10 qualities as Van John mentioned earlier requires at least 100% effort. Based on my experiences, after seeing so many people, everyone has their own habits, meaning strengths and weaknesses. I find myself having a hard time changing my bad habits to not be controlled by my feeling, especially when things do not go according to my way. I will turn into an angry man, creating conflict towards others and causing hurt to others people's feelings. From all these experiences, now being an old man, I still have such a habit at times. It's quite embarrassing, but at least be able to spot it. Therefore, I think to be able to meet a person to have 10 qualities is impossible. How about you, Xiao Wise the boy? What do you think about Van John's question?
Well, Van John, I'm still young, and so I don't think I have met anyone like this so far, and kind of agree with Kenny that I do meet someone, but do not have all the 10 qualities. So in other words, probably this person doesn't exist in this world. So I feel that the chances to meet with someone who has all the 10 qualities is so difficult. Or maybe I think the person right now is Van John, who have all the 10 qualities.
Not yet.
So let me ask everyone watching this VenTalk right now, have you met anyone with 10 qualities in life so far? Do feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section. So back to our discussion. I remembered from one of the discussions with Uncle Nicky's children from Bristol United class. So they shared with me that there are such teachers who are considered to be virtuous and they have great abilities. So what the abilities they have? So they are actually they are able to instruct all beings, including humans and deities, Shravakas, Patrika Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas. So, and also eventually guide them on the journey of the Mahayana path. This kind of excellent teacher. So, this virtuous teacher has a very special good quality. So, his ultimate goal is to guide us to end all suffering and gain ultimate happiness. So, he never forsakes humans or deities. Therefore, he is able to guide all beings. So, some of them can only guide humans and deities, but not beyond Shravakas or Patrika Buddhas. So, now this teacher is completely and extremely capable. So, overall, he can actually reach the highest level with the most skillful means, with the most effective guidance for us to advance.
Wow, so detailed are the research. Can repeat or not?
Well, I do not have the quality of abandoning the spiritedness, but you can refer to YouTube for replay, or even for the past sessions. So you may scan the QR code. So right now, I believe Venerable have met someone who have all the abilities. Shall we invite Venerable to share with us who they are?
As for me, I think Buddha has all of the above qualities. But in addition to that, Buddha has another 4 main qualities, namely, number 1, the good qualities of the Buddha body. Number 2, the good qualities of the Buddha speech. 3, the good qualities of the Buddha mind. And 4, the good qualities of the enlightened activities. So let us start with the Buddha's body. These entail recollections of Buddha auspicious signs and features. You can look at the Buddha statue. So calm, peaceful, and compassionate. Second, the good qualities of the Buddha's speech. Reflect on the marvelous way the Buddha talked. Even if every living being in the universe asks him a different question at the same time, he comprehends them all with one instant of his wisdom. Then he answered all of the question with a single word, which all beings understand in their own languages. Third, the good qualities of the Buddha mind. These are explained in terms of good qualities of knowledge and the good qualities of caring. So it's split into 2 parts. For the first part, knowledge. Without obstruction, the Buddha knowledge contacts the real nature and the diversity of all phenomenon, whereas us with limited knowledge cannot comprehend the vast objects that are to be known. Next, caring. In the same way that living beings are born by affliction, so is the sage, born by great compassion, which then arises continuously as he beholds the suffering of living beings. Last, the good qualities of enlightened activities. So what are the enlightened activities? The enlightened activities of the Buddha body, speech, and mind, being both spontaneous and everlasting, helping all living beings. And if the disciple like us are open to his guidance, the Buddha will give them what is excellent and lead them out of their trouble. Thus, the Buddha activities are certain to do everything that one needs to be done. So by following the Buddha, we can get a better rebirth for our next life. And if you guys don't believe it, you guys can come and learn. And one day, you'll definitely reach that goal. So next, do you really think that by following Buddha, we can get another human life after this? Please show your card. Wow, neat. That's the middle. Okay. So Kenny, do you want to explain?
Okay, John, after I heard what you shared with us with regards to the 4 great qualities of the Buddha, it increased my confidence that Buddha is able to guide us towards securing another precious human life. Looking at the magnificent appearance of the Buddha, we can imagine that he is in an everlasting state of serenity, and he never misleads us with his speech. The Buddha's mind is also filled with an ocean of knowledge that extends compassion to all of us. If we follow the footsteps of Buddha, as he has shown us through various scriptures and many exciting Buddha life stories, we will be able to attain enlightenment like him. I am sure that all of us here and everyone joining us online have benefited from the Buddha's wisdom in one way or another. Share with us your thoughts in the chat. Hey, Uncle Nicky, share with the audience what you have in mind.
Okay. To be honest, I will keep an open mind as of now. But what captures my attention is the Buddha's good qualities of caring and his possession of loving concentrates that covers all the suffering of living beings. Taking good care of 3 kids are very tough, and I need to work extra hard to ensure all of our financial conditions are met. Especially when my kids want to buy the organic brown ring cheese, organic mala spicy fried noodles, and especially this one from Yes Natural. Wow, their organic chocolate cream waffle. 大家请注意, the way that they eat, oh my goodness. I mean parents, 辛苦你们了. Rejoice in all of your meritorious effort in taking care of your own child. So, with this example, I really admire the Buddha to have such a capability to have the heart to contain all the sufferings of the living beings and giving solutions with one single word is indeed a person filled with ultimate compassion and wisdom. Imagine I can copy and paste this trait to myself, creating virtuous actions to have another human life. No problem at all. But as of now, I will take it one step at a time to build my faith. How about you, JK?
Well, I want to thank Venerable for sharing about Buddha's great qualities. So I believe that Buddha is able to get me another human life if I follow him. As mentioned by Venerable, by opening to his guidance, the sage will give us anything that is excellent and lead us out of trouble. So speaking of this, I remember in one of the talks that I attended in P.C.W.A.M monastery, there is this story shared by one of the youth leaders. So it actually mentioned someone offends the king of country A. So if you look at the slide, there's this country. So the king of country A wants to punish him. So he flees to country B and asks the king B to protect him. So the king is very powerful and promises to protect this person, but he must abide by country B national laws and don't leave the borders of country B, because once he leaves, the king of country B will not be able to protect him. So using this metaphor to express the power of conversion means that although we have created a lot of bad karma in the past, if we know how to have faith in a good teacher, it is as if we know how to escape to another country. So find a king who can protect us and abide by the laws of that country. As long as we abide by Buddha's rule for protection, we can act according to Buddha Dharma truthfully. We can actually protect ourselves from previous evil karma. In fact, such faith has this power. So, I believe that if we sincerely rely on Buddha, getting a human life is definitely not an issue. But Venerable, I'm quite curious what methods Buddha has for us in getting another human life. Is it true that faith itself will be good enough for me to get another human life?
Well, you shared a very good story here. Faith is very important, but then it is not enough. Same as the story you mentioned just now, you have to follow the rule of country B. We can get another human life by practicing the 10 virtuous deeds and avoiding the 10 non-virtuous actions. But then, why do we want to be human again? How does practicing the 10 virtuous deeds secure a spot for us to become a human? I think that's the homework for you all.
Yes, another good discussion session with my Kopi brothers. See you in the next episode.
Thank you,
Thank
Venerable.
you, Venerable.